There has been an ongoing systematic effort on the part of the Trump administration and Postmaster DeJoy to dismantle the Postal Service as we know it. There's a reason it's a clause in the Constitution. I think the founding fathers realized that the Postal Service was a connection for America and that it was a universal service and that it should have a countrywide, nationwide responsibility. And what we're seeing now is the dismantling. It's not new, it's been going on. But right now, with this pandemic and this emergency, it is more essential than ever that the essential workers, as they've been classified, the Postal Service workers, during this pandemic, be given the resources to do their job. This is not a partisan issue. This is simply about the legislation. Delivering for America Act is about allowing the Postal Service to do their job and do their job only, and a job they do well and have done well since the founding of this nation. Here's what's at stake. What's at stake is 80% of the prescriptions, about 500,000 a day, that go to our veterans from the VA are delivered via the mail. Millions upon millions of people rely on the mail as a primary source of communication and contact in the receiving of necessary supplies, prescriptions, etc. It is the Postal Service during this time is more critical than ever, and it has shown its role through the whole pandemic, and it continues to show what an important role it's playing for America. Now, the second issue is the Postal Service and what is going on. Due to, I think, a political manipulation of the Postal Service by the Trump administration and the postmaster, who is a mega donor to Trump, who has a potential conflict of interest because he has a private business that does business with the Postal Service. And those things are going to be investigated and those things are going to be litigated. The issue, though, today is to make an immediate infusion of $25 billion and to set the levels of service based on January 1st, 2020. And what in effect means reinstating overtime, no closures of facilities, no reduction in hours, and no reduction in service standards. And that would last until January 1st, 2021, or until the pandemic is under control, whichever comes first. We consider it as a national emergency, and it's being declared as that. And in doing so, we reinforce the resources that the Postal Service needs to do its job for the American people. The other issue is the political manipulation is that expected, and I think it's going to be more than that, projected is 80 million people are going to be voting by mail in this country come November 3rd. And in Tucson alone and in Pima County, 60 to 70% of the people are going to be voting by mail. And the cynical effort to begin to demean voting by mail, to begin to undercut the Postal Service in its ability to collect and deliver people's votes and protect their right to vote, that is, I think, the systematic effort on the part of DeJoy and on the part of the Trump. And so with this infusion, we guarantee that the right to vote is going to be protected and that vote by mail is going to be protected. I want to say a little something about the people that work for the Postal Service. They were classified as essential workers. They had no choice. They had to come to work and make sure the American people received the information and the universal service that they provide to all of us. And the closure of areas, the reduction in hours, and the systematic undercutting of those levels of service have jeopardized an election and people's right to vote, and jeopardized the well-being of many, many people that depend on the mail as their sole source of connection. I want to thank them for what they've done, and we want to pass this and then move it on to the Senate immediately and ask the Senate to do that urgently. And ask our senators here in Arizona to support it. I must, in all fairness, Senator Sinema has signaled her support. We haven't heard from Senator McSally, and she needs to be part of an effort to get this done in the Senate and get it signed by this president. It's essential. It protects our democracy from authoritarian techniques and strategies. It keeps the Postal Service doing its job for millions upon millions and all of us in this country. And it's an urgent emergency, and that's why on Saturday we're going to vote on it, pass it, and send it to the Senate.